This is Boadu TV. Truth and integrity.
Munyina kwa bamfambra Boadu TV so best say why your first and wa subscribe you like ni and comment and two more. Na Ablekuma North election by election and Ukraine by election some electoral centers bi and as a polling centers bi and omokoto ye be 19 emuntu kwa hawa kumisene amanfo ye bo mo ana IGP trese omaya arrest be 8 microphone 8 bi ya chiom but omo form picture no mudin bibia metu dwaye but o kan na o say o match microphone eno na Gordon asabidi akono bisa awo movement TV ni kokan bisa say hefo na o match omo munhu nipa kon o match omo say we ni ya chi omo na mo 8 persons ni ya chi omo no before ye ko akwatia by election because akwatia by election ni de MPP awe ataso so no mte edwa so etiaso madua no be wini ndisi fo no so mba pa se de ketia so mba pa uye no si nchen ya wontumi radio stations na omo e close ni down no e ho asema kosisan new updates e wo
penifo Asia NCA4 on several occasions adebia o se ye bia no yaye adebia se ye bia na megide se yaye ayese megide yaye na so no yesi otimi fo timi wa ro ka wafo abeti nti sana me de pese meti asese yem se otimi fo lo otimi yen nti kawa no ai wo efe abeti na so no abrante bi was ni wodiem ekakra when I come into my elements yebeko ho eti radio station here off said that me no kasen yaya bebiri yaya bia she say last one aka meni adwum mpanifo permission but last one aka mete say o mo ka ho asem ne say baby a ye transmitter this year no you say assurance ho no according to NC for almost mo mbre bia se den yenko page de ni mfi assurance wo ne famra kokumlimle ha isa na mati na bibusa se radio stations se wo Accra Greater Accra ha no omunyina transmitters no isi hefa me pa cho wakokofo radio ada ya wafa abri sa wonna mo abri people no na wo kwa so between abri and assurance ubo se na mebe yi transporters akesake sisi so atete on enya ban dia wo a radio stations na utenin kan no e ho bia de wo na I'm told this yes ye de no de ye go fa free ho na ye fa mrakoko me Prof Q, can hello I mean Tiadi. But I mean hello. Are you okay? Samum. I think some take a crack.
You become an average.
There be still na me said until
hey.
Okay, what they say Omuti say any year. I cook check TV no say be have sound in the year then you na ma let me. Et would you be in komo na penifo tenasia no krata bia mekenkan krata no minim se straight away kwa menkenkan dia ma menkan sisi aha enti se penifo nyina tenasia bedwafo tenasia ebra president Kufuor ti aban mu as president aban no so take decision NCA4 take decision say radio stations be including Radio Gold and then I think said is it Neat FM mana stations be brain at okay FM rather me dasi na yes omo deka na ebi deka 10 years tio na ebi deka 10 years na ebi deka 15 years ebi so from inception you can't from inception na every day almost 30 year adwuma besi ekle medase every day almost 30 year adwuma ebesi ebra NCFO take his decision no na sika eso mutu adwuma ye ewo ho renewals bi ese wo ye afibia or renewals bebrebi we die ni for 20 years na ebintu ebida yet they were operating NCA under President Kufuado omo etikisa decision say on beju bia license wa wonye sa ade no ye gin e call back and forth sa eventually and na omo san bie na omo gin license no President Mahama nani anye ho ekofo bia no omo kasetia na Kufuado edidi na tem opeye in fact vulgar language mutimi so vulgar language it against the president and then the wife then first lady omudidi na tam kan sembasa police for chibi President Mahama said there be sadie no enye good governance enye democratic yibi na say wo sadie no. So in a democratic dispensation, you don't do that. Esana, they will be stifling friend say free speech. It was a mature crata in his own capacity to ne brother and ne Kufuado. Or chua crata tin. Ebo born a German. It in ne abeja fortuna say a crata na President Mahama a troy yellow. A command and ne Kufuado no making crata dinina. Eka cry, why you making kind? Beyond that, was I several interviews or programs. I can say Kasai. It's the so-called attack on press freedom. I say, boss, one of your bad president in 2025 wa. Stacy be the one more and then in Yadriya or Bemia close. That. Or Stacy be the one more and then in Yadriya or Bemia close to that. Obey president. Is that the case? Menoka say this is the second time within 8 months. Yeah, under John Dramani Mahama as president. Yeah, close to down to me radio twice. Within 8 months, too. Yeah, tum in prino. It's because say President Mahama and I me atumwa and walk crata to be churching. Me making canning na because that time no wakase na Kufuado and na ayes adi ni na because the Kufuado na president. It the yakos is saying wanya so na Kufuado na in the absence of the Kufuado who is the president? John Dramani Mahama. So who is doing it? John Mahama. If it works like a duck, if it works like a duck, if it swings like a duck, it shakes like a duck, it is a duck. Eti ye bedi nkomo, papa, ye bedi nkomo. Na mahu NDC national organizer. Mahu ni video no Joseph Yamin. Bosomi atwam na Attorney General of Ghana e ka say yenche no Attorney General na Attorney General si yenche obi a kwa be announcement enye na so ka cha IGP say monche no ya ka che no e ka be ka say mami ya che no ba do say the court no say the colorful court no be tra bonte say Joseph Yamin ene Abanga NDC national one of the vice chairman say omumienu ye galamsey pa Ghana eti yenche omune ko prosecute omu ebesi ne yente say invite obi ampo e wo National Ambulance Service and Blood Bank of Ghana and Bible Society of Ghana binte say Abanga and Joseph Yamin ya invite omu kaka meyi video no Joseph Yamin akogya galamsey fo mu se wono de wampene na baby o said the trampoa asofo tete ho imam for tete ho police for tete ho Joseph Yamin say an na say asofo kwa asore dem a na omo ye contribution a any donations a eya na galamsey fusika omo nyi ya na eti ene bedi ho nkomo. Finance Minister Kisela to forcing was say gold for oil no anya adwuma wo wiase da bra President Akufo-Addo de baye no was say anya adwuma da na ne boa. There was nothing like good for oil policy. There was nothing like that. San Wokika. Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana and appointee of the sitting President John Dramani Mahama after plane ako UK any guy eviase for nyina ako dim komako kasa was say hey goal for oil policy boa my Ghana Deputy Governor hey was a goal for oil policy boa on my Ghana was a gold reserves ya na Akufo-Addo mo de buy boa on my Ghana Deputy Governor was hey Russia Ukraine war and the COVID-19 said yes ya ha on my Ghana Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana an appointee of the sitting president and the bidding komo bebre MPP internal matters you be din komo you be share akwatia you be share police for IGP said ye obekasa nansen was say IGP kokache GJ for say Ablekuma North ya NDC for hoodlums no ekodisi money e bunkofo preprom tia ma ya sinyina no women hooligans on. Say the name HH. So what is the difference between hoodlums and hooligans? Sir, okay. What the beshe? At IGP say o matching watche. Asema see ya Ghana for nyina e person hu bebe wa kwesi no. IGP so matching watche on the quiet silent operation, silent night. Oh, ah goodness. Omati oma yente hwe okokache GG fo ana mebusa me ho say Obama poku ase fanti comedy achemkwa bone be no mo yeye ya chi wo mo mutimi IGP ma ye de mo pictures ebeto abonte say they have been arrested and the pictures have abeto ukọ Ghana police service omo social media me no ka say da so da ho but my share police service social media for the past 2 months my check and my check there's not a single report or information from Ghana police service telling the world to say and confirm ko din someone ne wo Ablekuma North no omotra chi de baba kompo omontro wo ho and you expect say yebeji edi memo mo die mejiri sa IGP no boa sa mejidi because I have no he didn't prove he didn't show any evidence mejiri so boa. So amwa me catch IGP say ene one publishing names of omwa omachi womu publish their names say ya chiwe anyway publish their names me jini say oboa we see baby you do no ya be ya the plant waku on say achimkwa so di asare. Oh, okay. Chimkwaso di asare na me ma me krumbogu na omote se ya asare wo untumi ya che no eja sanketwa na ye din esi bogu and bogu ye area hono no school mu ho che se praise be ho there. In fact, Jajuo cha and the mutual Jajuo. In fact, them mammy dinechi. Yeah, one is and take care should be around 81. The Nante cry were bread. Now what ye kwa sa call me cousin bako. One Nante about 30 minutes as I would joke. I just but this and that sorry, just woo soon. And once at the big star just there be not maintain no a frame bra come from pon na bra kwame so aframe me dano di yakopon chade wo frame me na be fire and I'm say bra no was yes ya chela me say wo there bi na me chechi mu jessica wo frame no edi man peke a just the things that can be them eti bogufo enya mia nebo emi nua na yache no ai eti ude ene na me wase no bi yenche me ana me ka se nya yache ba ko dada aha eti no yi na afuto mu da bani nyina no yate na asa mususu nkan ombechi mu na asa mususu nkan ombechi mu ifa enu ampo de anti bi ni me ya me ka che se no opa o me nya adwuma na me san ko back to the classroom e what yenchi di pa basa because me I am not a timorous soul me nya timorous soul because me nya timorous me nsradie me nya ohufuo. I will say it as it is and I will forever live in your mind. I will say it as it is. But the truth, it will pierce you. And then, President Mahama, you can let you know. By the time I can't let you know, who President Mahama, you have so many words to describe him. Well, me say, you can crack Tadivia, Peter Soha, or Becky or the Becky Kahun. Many people discuss say, but great minds think alike. Maybe really say pa, maybe so documents but the Becky can. By the time you know, when you see President Mahama, when you see President Mahama, we'll say yes, classical example of dishonesty, an unprincipled person. The Becky can. Eti I was afraid movie be aqua baby. I won't to me radio 95.9. Movement television program di bechimu FM Gordon asarbediako abudafo ebobi bia ache mo bia kwaba Prof K ewase no mo Peter Ankoma ewase no mo na koka bacho tena si na use we na Mr. Prof K ati say
wodo yakopon adom
wo ho ye
adom ye nyamfa media na obisa communicator bia say ne ho te sen na otimi je so na ne kasa wo kasa no on kasa mfiri yoko anasa ankwano maso ye dia na chese ne ho ya mpampa ntinasare yakopon adom se tekrema da bodwe ma miguso amekasa idea adom ara kwa me ho ye ene minu anom so aba be ka me ho o hwe eye the late Peter Ankoma and the late Peter Ankoma and Sania de Bema
Dabi yempene
me de hina mo
me the late Peter Ankoma Peter why you late o de kasi Peter
na me kan say won na call Montessori ya kan say bro na kan say o ko de
matters of Uganda no
mo bro from kan say
enya Montessori beba enya Montessori ba ya benche Montessori for
enti mo wo be kan say asem na mpesa me kan no me dem ko school wa kura say
it was what kan the bro for IGP program Tikani pi.
Na de na o ka chem say ma me kan say the late Peter Ankoma.
That be the late Peter Ankoma. The Peter why you late. Ma mentia madam Adjoa Yeboa Ferry. Adjoa Yeboa Ferry. Peter say wonim no.
Oh, papa.
Adjoa Yeboa Ferry. And I mentia papa Dr. Amwa and Professor Kwesi Yanka.
And then mo so we bias pa.
Dr. Ade Donko. Ma mentia Dr. Ade Donko me papa say wonim no. Okay.
Me so me chia obi.
Kuka so nim. Na mentia me sister Professor Mibeluti Bodi Professor Papa Nansiana Omano aso prof kama University of Ghana a certified professor
Obama kutia only Peter Mota ya sade no so issue
okay and you say no money hanti we can allow you to use the prof but GTech for everything
sese for my dey me dey koje adwuma
and I mention my Reverend Dr. Joyce Aye and my Rose Appleton and a beche munina ya na sire musini di enkomo no ya na ekama musin kra engineer Jonas Ajiman so ye che enrai hu papa bi ewo tema na enrai ko tema minim se tema fo no modigi yesa che se mesi ya bia be fa bia no be hu yen ye fa de tu na no machi tu no ei na no de papa ba ko Percy friend na nie fintin papa Percy pacho nyakopo insha no on to nkwanem enra yihia onni di nkomo kama etu yefo se me na sa boy abaso nti no ya na we really appreciate that kama and na Phoebe so yihia Phoebe nti ono so no yes ono so yechia no when start Peter kwa na say when ekola mi hu da menye
Fredo Bakano
class prefect Peter ne ba lit Peter wa ba lit o spectacles say fashionable
sa
makame bro for na nkofo ayo
ma ka say uko Montessori ampa
say
oh obi na dey chair no
yeah that would do spectacles
go kade
eti me ni be do abese for the starting person doors until mo the start
no me the on kan wo letter na me kasa
ati o person nke letter
oh but patcho ma me take opportunity na
okay
menda amamfo ase say be about 2 months ago ahaya na ya announce say Audu Mahama the editor of Custodian corporate Primpark elections Primpark president enti no ebnade ya na ekoto aba no na amanfo mo boaye omo support Audu Mahama campaign na ya da omase sem trofo mpanifo mo freye politicians be businessmen be omo support ya da omase nyakopon hira omo na afi nso omo betray ye nso ya da omase pa
se okaso bon betray say
nyakopon hira omo yes hwe unim say somewhere June na Audu beka chairman say opese o contest Primpark president initially my first reaction was then onyai no be sam sad me say said there abinomo sibi time no me feel say ujaya no say sa no so okay o de yankoje delegates na say voters register list na members of Primpark ni enhwe unim say yakoje ye no ni ehwe ye no ye hwe mu a ni ehun say out of 107 emu 37 there no mu ye o do say stronghold obi to say Kwame wo God na sarbe there an editor of ABC that be yeah member am so
stay focused
ono unhia say Audu Mahama be campaign a kyerɛw asa what aba
Dabi na me nua panyi kwapa de
yes and afi nso kura unim ne dada
of course
nti ye hwɛ mu na about 37 out of the 107 no nkɔfo a ti ankɔ bu mpa ye gidie ni say on beto abama ye and afi ye draw family tree yeah analysis because if you want ma unse God na sabi dia ko e bia no online no 2 vote e bi or 3 votes ye na na ehun se emu 44 de ye dia
e 44 na be kan 30
emu e bi be kan 37 no ma na be
44 okay
ana e bi na e bi mu nso de ka e bi mu nso omo registration no enya nko yi papa nti ye ni nyina hyehye bibia no na ehun se of 123 members on beto aba no at least emu 44 ndie ehye botom dada
yes
parliament so unim se kofo bi wo ho press ko omo to aba
yes
Audu so wa na wa ye na adwuma bebre wo ho omo ye 16 na omo to aba enti plus and minus many Audu kasa no so utima mame 12 am so okay we dey 10
they find the 10 plus 44 54
afa ye wie na etena ase sa hwe mu ano na of 54 no emu 44 de aya omo 50-50 a hu omo bebia mu gina yi na emu 17 ewo ye opponent no 17 de ya campaign an kire omo kura omo se de kura omo ntoma no mo ye opponent no ya sa ye mu bio na panyini bi some 20 panyini ono kura o papers bi na ye a omo wo ho obetuma hwe ono so boy ye tree na no onyo ma ye mu 5 that's 49 59 of 123 votes afa ye tenase ya analysis and ye reach out to 44 na no mu ye 50-50 no mu bi metimi nya mu 6 proxy almost say omuntimi ni around but my proxy 6 no omo be my yempe omo mbeto abakra ama omo eti luckily na your constitution so utimi to dodo bia once nipa no ugidi o ama proxy ne de timi se meto 3
okay okuta proxy
na me je 3 so ma obi so this 6 ebeka 59 wa enya 64 that alone it me my win elections because 64 out of 123 we win nti ehun say we de ye hu ye adwuma ye a we can pull a surprise ebio ye ne amanfo kasa de nkomo even reached out to one-on-one to
and the year thing.
By plus or minus near bear 74 to 80. I am say. Yeah, who near be ye say for
and I grown form.
I grown form.
It is says
na ye call for nimpa 44 na ye nim so mo kan ye ho mo hia say ye to abamom no na e bia betray.
It in say 36 and 34.
Was it in your say? I also to my
some of them. Oh,
do okay. I'm so bad to about you. Say, oh, baby, I'm saying Peter na kwase.
Who's about 3 times?
I'm so you may be yes. Wouldn't say, Kofua. You even you facilitate to a move baby mrame to abano. I feel we are from Cromumfa. Omaka them no omo train o musika.
Essential. Now you see, there's a larger conversation too. We are walking. A year now, MPP for be complaining, and MPP about by on fair the pebins says a jumu and Tinano one for one for promotion. It is not true.
Yes.
Say it loud.
You see, Mamum Pentin and Kufuado and I buying. And then Penfo Musasim said no more, they didn't care about the party at all. And no mom, what would be? It is not true. Omoten Kofo was said from President Kofo time. Omoten Kofo police, immigration. All baby here be Omoten Kofo coin. But minimum the MPP ni ekonya position. Kakra bi say all of a sudden. No ba so called neutral.
Yeah.
Afo yanemwa, unyanemwa. He MPP ni wa boa na mo akwakwose baabi na was say be me se no tema krompa was na ka be habo. O what tema was say na o tema na me na ka sinza me sa pe habo. Me pese afa wo hwehwe wo mu a wo mu asif say abandoned by one will be other, but they are there. There are a lot of them in the system. More and more ungrateful, and you are not loyal to the party. They are never loyal to the party. But when it matters most, are you telling me say, COP fuing and ACP fuing?
Yeah.
Enti pressure for time. One for bia or more will be uncle police more and they will do ACP.
Oh, that be how?
Yeah, at the end, divisional commanders.
Oh, yeah.
And the regional commanders are now. But what do they do? One for bia.
No more.
President President Father by 8 years old.
Yes.
It's 8 years and so far will be a pursue because baby. There's the likelihood some of them and now position of influence. Yet when you need them, no action. When you need them, no action. When you need them, no action. MPP for you too disloyal to the party.
That's correct.
You know that you never tell you about.
Yeah.
You never tell you about
because at a point in the whole government machinery, and Marshall say, "Oh, I'm making sure say."
Oh, of course. Why not? Of course. And they say
if our people had sticked to their cause, and came Massa.
We say. You should crew any crew near any home and a man and moon.
Yeah.
Do this a meeting wing. Now, bit my family say, see. In fact, dear, now we're doing the contest. Me would have who was here, man, was one. Sounds Madame Follow.
Yes.
Madame Follow. But me would have was here with a full by. Oh, what them send me back a time I would do my
even our people are not, we knew said they were vulnerable. We took care of them.
But why must you be vulnerable as a journalist? When you are going to exercise your franchise to choose a leader for your association, what is the vulnerability in this?
Now, as some way, my final point on that. MPP Penny pa, MPP Penny pa got involved
for our
against us.
Are you?
A didn't the fan to me be come grave. And my catch that would do. But seko base say nipa no o unity say opedi bia wo party ni mu ana o man mu ha dia mebodi na kire team no and we will also betray him.
Fan kwa daka no ka kire me so enya ha say nipa no because unim
Oyusu, two very important editors
Yo.
within us
Against
Audu Mahama.
Okay.
And got in touch with our opponent.
Miniam Baby sent a message. Was you are very right. My husband's brother-in-law went to the police and he voted for John Mahama. Was in fact his wife told me, and they fought. Was it's sad. Very, very ungrateful people and disloyal to the party. I person make can say. And man will be tina baby that enka say MPP for Bawumia when the pa MPP for Bawumia when the pa and for the pa and she said it is never true. Omo nipa ko baby but who here and what friend MPP ni no wa na na Akufo Addo and that person Akufo and a man no that position na no yi na niama. No yi na niama.
Baby I fa ba ya de ye ka kwan ho asem. Asem ni ye ka. Ye fitama na ye ba. Ye ntumi nyai normal ye hu se na na ado aye.
E wotema ansa de bedru ha.
Kwan ni bibia ye nam ni STD na. Da se bebusa se bo ye sure se we nyina aka ejuma na do ye.
What you say?
Enti ene de godon.
Minia.
Me de masem ba wie no. San panyini ni de apart from other 2 or 3 people who betrayed us no. MPP panyini ni de. Minim se ne nkofo ni bi baako mienu kra mo hwe. Na mo be ka kire no because ma ka kire mama baako hint. So one day we also betray his boss.
Of course. Come up. And on proposition 10 to me. Nah, because come on must come early. Come on must come early. Na bibia what baby I do there. Anyway.
Me bibia me ti bibia fro. On say now can go for
oil.
Hon sense bia na oka. Last week we dealt with it extensively.
Okay.
But we see finance minister. Now can be say Ibisa no so there was nothing like that. It's true. It's documented. In fact, on a PM Express.
I no video no.
Usha at a point who say Evans Mensah Kura Bisa no. Say has he confirmed Asamna Okano from the central bank, in this case Bank of Ghana? Nah. Oh yes. Yes. Yes.
Mr. Santi Pacho be my video no.
Obe ready wa ha. From select committee, finance committee of parliament. Mo confirm me say there was something like that. What the bar has say Babekin kind.
So mama video.
Babekin.
What no na afi wo my akwaba ye na wi mu sha.
Let's ba mu akwaba dada.
Enti me ye zoom in ne enko ye ni mo.
Let's go na
e di no.
Semu.
Let's say topics no.
Procure am say.
Na be topics no.
Procure na oda
na ye den.
Ye bisa no no.
Em de pa.
Ye bisa no say asked about whether he has confirmed because he had said say gold for oil was a sham.
And you gold for oil.
There was nothing like gold for oil. And that but Evans Mensah Kura Bisa no say what check it from the central bank and
yes.
Or say yes. What check it. There was nothing like that. But you see, God is wonderful. Apart from the boss MD, when parliamentary select committee focus around or complaining about how gold for oil suspension are affecting Boston, the BOG for now will say what check it from them and that there was nothing like gold for oil. Omo deputy governor, first deputy governor, friend Dr. Zakari Mumuni, oko Bosunwe August 6th, oko London, ko ma speech. In fact, he was the keynote speaker. Africa's premier trade banking thought impact event this year. No koye no, nse branding ti enyo man doso. Or kasa fa gold for oil. And say boa or mine no. No chere say or start no our paragraph or chere say am I bebre FAC challenges because of COVID-19 and Russia Ukraine war from 2020 no ever. We no obechere say let me quote. Say faced with these facts, Ghana undertook feasibility studies on countries with domestic gold purchase programs, including the Bank of Philippines, the Bank of Ecuador, South Africa Reserve Bank, Turkey Central Bank, Bank of Mongolia, and etc.
Okay.
So faced with COVID in Ukraine, even though those days no one say there was nothing like COVID in Ukraine were affecting ABM. Dr. Zakari kyerɛ sɛ ampa ɔman no face ɛkɔ ahohia mu saa into at the time aban no wɔ hɔ MPP aban ɛne the central bank ɛkɔ yɛ steady wɔ banks yɛ amabodin wɔ ɛwɔ abrochire
okay
to see say ɔmbɛtuma use gold for oil ɛde aboa economy na tie let me quote him in page 3 of his statement. I say after the successful implementation of the gold for oil program, the bank of the DGPP, that is gold domestic gold purchase program.
Yes,
the bank extended the strategy to the gold for oil initiative in 2022.
Two policies programs. Domestic gold purchase program.
Yes.
You know the to gold.
Gold ni keke. I know na after what's the kind.
So you want to talk about that?
Yes.
After that, now you to gold go on, and you use gold
no, to
as
trade
gold for oil.
Fantastic. Utine nsokwa.
Oh,
say.
Yeah.
But utwe atofos statement now. So all what the central bank here answer or to gold keke.
Sanity.
So, no, they did the domestic gold purchase program, which is to no gold no and use gold no edico trade.
Yes,
and you say after successful implementation of the DGPP gold purchase no the bank that is BOD extended the strategy to gold for oil initiative in 2022 till this was a well-intended policy solution to moderate the adverse effect of escalating export petroleum prices, which surged as high as 230% in 1 year.
Okay.
A brilliant team. Final. Yeah, how a boy the economy. See, the gold for oil intervention therefore leveraged the DGPP, that is gold purchase program framework, to provide FX, that is forex.
Yes.
And then gold to support the importation of petroleum products through government to government arrangements.
Government to government.
Government to government. This is Dr. Zakari Mumuni.
Deputy Governor.
John Dramani Mama, President. Ne appointee.
Yes.
Ne kasei. What I say? Sir, there was such a program, and indeed, a leverage ma omunya forex, and then go to support the importation of petroleum products through government to government arrangements. The gold for oil intervention helped secure petroleum imports at competitive prices. It helped ease pressure on the forex market. And it helped stabilize the export petroleum prices.
Just one advantages.
Gold for oil at the buy a boy.
Bible no na Peter chapter so saa necessary we are there na now the date na hye wo anya say tie for the obekọ akire
it is a finance minister because say omukoto gold keka. Now he said he was talking about the domestic gold purchase program alone. Forgetting say indeed omuwie no Bank of Ghana say omu de ko trade be na a government to government arrangement.
Yeah.
What I say? And clearly, finance minister and the Oman one can crunch.
But side is can one year in the one credibility he's gone down the gutters. All right, Peter, my member Prof Kill. So Prof Kill, come on, you before my name minister so minimum supposition the boy be most saying oh minister what you what to say now following there's no much stress on her. And I will share if I'm who and the parliament and that means because you say I think say he's better off being opposition leader. Because hey, what's up, Papa? Share the skin, eh? Share the skin. Or bad this pressure be in the soul. And then I would do a quaba. Oh, who you did?
Okay, also one who here or Frank Mano. Former president.
Akufado.
Adodanko Akufado.
The own body no
freshness. Also oba
yeah, what so this is 81 and
81. A year no. Confound more hanya.
Adudi
we are boy.
And read me who
how many months now? Just
8 months. What's the confess at if you know?
Don't worry.
Enra me hu asate ma 1 week no. Me obi so de
Ona me hu no.
me share dem above that me show obi so ntoma bia. If I me share body me say na body na akusa sei. We the place we don't aka shata.
We the what can you crew masempa? Akusa.
Esam Yanko.
Bodon.
Bra.
E besan chia atiefo ne ahwefo na maka ne say we titi. Ansema Peter aka no ha anopai. Ene nsema for the past few days yati free cocoa board no me ema me bisa me question say anyanya bia no from Bank of Ghana any finance ministry no then changes na akoso ewo ho de ntia me bisa sa asem we ni kire say oba aban mu na say o target technocrat omodwuma no obi a wuyi ni free ho a de beba beto no sa na ma we bi na beto ntia beduma bi no ade a friend institutional memory wan hwa wunya bi oma na omo ho omo ye adwuma no wunya omo e beka che o se niema ye ni wuye no free ho nso a ye won kofo a omo ayo omo adwen se nipa aba aban mu sisia no ayo omo adwen so omo nya se omo pese omo hwe bibi na omo hu nti de wo mutimu ane se yemfa bibi enya den emfa ensha aban sanka enya saade a sanka ye handing over note wo ho ana meboa enti say minister finance minister eco TV so na ye bisa no for emphasis e bisa no say enyanya bia wa check asem na wo ka no na o say onu hu ni say o say yes ya to good no na de na Peter aka no unim ade a eye so novel e wo sa de na Peter kan ni mu say ye the cities ena koto good ana ye de eye buffer edema ye sidi no ye wie ne ye sign de sa gold no ede kwa koje oil na nka ye de ye dollars and foreign currency ena ede be kwa koto sa oil no wan na betimi ya sa de we de omu ye nyina ne se gold na ye beto no ye mfa emu 20% emfa nkonkoto oil minister ti ha se mebo a ebi obetimi a cheche mu ye yemfa 20% emfa konkoto oye nti na pressure na ewo ye sidi ni so no na aba form ene so obisa omo aba aban mu se sidi no a stabilize e de na mo ya fa ho a ama na stabilize a de obenya ansa obenya ya tim didi ebedi watem de obenya ya tim didi omo so to good omo to sen em so omo de say 4 tons so say 3 tons yeah be 3 tons so say no mo de account there wono ede from say 8 tons ede aba bedu be say to no antimi amasidi and stabilize but the no ede be 3 tons ede account ho amasidi no stabilize okay former BOG by Bank of Ghana omo boss Addison o say na anka o pese o de dollar no ebatena artificial nko betimi aye
edu huyanko ye
eho ne edu no
huyanko ye obi
godon eho ne edu no unim bibi obi a otie ma no pa bi apa on check da bia me ba ha me boss asem we so for the past few weeks every day sidi na yesi enya hoden no wo de osori every week bia ko check 140,800 sefa aye a bag of cocoa check it every week na convert bra at the prevailing exchange rate no na convert bra hwe the last time I me ba ha na 2,600 me no kasa no pay 2,744 sidi na yesi enya hoden no me ko check ye no ye cocoa for ko check ye no yade a every coast omusika no enya hoden buye ye de no eti anyanya bia no ye the analysis of normal CD dollar exchange rate and say ye abochi de na na say ye NDC headquarters de no they can dey go don me de man be si wa ha say minister o ha de am say ordin 7 bebraba.
All right, Prof Kyobe das na me board the minister ban ko fo be send messages sa especially kokra for lo mo so mo hu facha no money jiaje wo mo say the way she carries herself no and one of the few people are say no motive opposition Omoba Abemono, or Mansisa. I think she became more humble when she became a minister. And you know, Yabopon Ecosusa. Minister, former information minister, and now, Wabasti to Baby Equan Aquaba.
Yeah,
na enema te saying
Bibia Boko.
The Yamiasi. Oh, my men and the Yamusi wing, and TB.
Oh,
And right, Nana says to Casa, the Yato, and I'm sitting says, a woman make us idea, and a monk come back to the classroom, and I'm quite sad. I want I end to me and dictating would be an assessor, and to know what's a mechanic watch out. Now, would see a finance minister? Would see finance minister good for oil? That time, my police in the banner. I don't know now we're deputy and I eventually be you know. It's I'm even sure the communication around when you were even the deputy. I want now one more year. Me boy, yeah, I remember. It's no would see a finance minister and ne Walker say there was nothing like good for oil policy and it didn't work. It didn't work. Me nimse obesi akano and then I don't know. What is the secret of Nana for in opposition? Yanko.
Ohina na peba menchia na menchia mebra mpanyimfo ne adofo a omagyebre omohwe ya na panyina na mekasa mesha sen mekasa ade nyina mu yemfa aseda pese motumfo nyankopon
Amen.
ode yenkwache ya bibia ni honom a yenhu asase so na oni ni nyame beye aya me se ebra na NDC 1 na baaban mu no na social media evolution ekoso ba na ndi mu te se ebra president Akufo-Addo ebedi aban ndi president Akufo-Addo be fa akonwa nde ne wo 32 million commentators
yes
obia comment anase ne voice anase na dwenkyere no enka ne dem otwe phone si na nima woka bi na epia bonten sabra na bia na yehu mfaso e wo so mai but emprempre mu no ni NDC ni bia kan opposition bia no ene ne wo kan ne bia we have the benefit of showing it in 3D if you set a chairman pro ni wo kan ye no so na ye twigo abe fontintan so aye so ye bi na without a doubt ama ye hu pefe say in fact aban no aye ye fragadam e chese kionet o madada Ghana for in ways and I'm not speculating I'm talking about facts na da ni nyina mu no nso no me hu se wave bi koso a President Nana Danko Akufo-Addo ene Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Ghana for shall say sign omuti near can say beba in a year's time but that is not the case
yes
it started very early ye kra ye no mo shall see o ye nkan bi so aban bi ba ma ne nkwa homeje mu na onya ne honeymoon na President Mahama no hwehwe no and the goodwill and you give them grace but the public is saying no and tro bebre na mutwae na mo de atro ne ba ya muntimi meke kan nsem ntomfo tro nwu yeni na won na nsore preko penka say masesa ma adwen
edameti de wakana se a enye se bia MPP for krampo na edi program bia ba se ne yes pose on but there's a natural vindication
there is and that natural vindication here because this is the first time enkrofo bebre here say oh enkrofo nkoto aba on party lines so they are going to analyze issues omutie ne ekoso hwe enema esisi wo manmu ene nsema nkrofo ka na NDC communication and propaganda no we really fuel the perception
yes
ana nkrofo bebre ewo kuayo ho ewo former goodie tuo ho ewo school sem ho school feeding sem ne nkeka ho even drip yera ni lante Vanderpool na nyame adom President Akufo-Addo anfa drip and bank wo nya appointment
na yes okopa ache wo so opa adwuma eno mo ka che ni say eno mo ka che ni say because wo so no a minister eti wo ko opposition no ba kara boti say isi abronya ko podura wo nya hampa ono na be ka yo wo se abronya do wo nya hampa bi eti afa ne kondo hampa enti ese wo nya post wo nya hampa wo fie eno ko pa ache say pe ba bi mana eno mo zone yem se drip e wo holomo o se wo he and I would be
was
starting your Juma and appointment letter in Poba.
And then the office shep President Anado Danko Kufuado Adarum.
No, was only legacy.
Nyamin Chadie, Nipa no timid and assassin Bono Coco. So show me one legacy of President Kufuado, Honorable Nilante, President Kufuado, who can a legacy. Yes, now that Roman Kautifie. Enti
captain of legacies.
Enti no. Me no say no one say me mfuno betoto because me the Nyankopon say I chose right, that I serve people who had integrity, who had this country at heart. No more sacrifice bibia say President Akufo-Addo from 2017 or so I'm in a hurry.
Yes.
Enti nkrofo bitimi say oh enka for project na kakra bia enke e ubetimi aye ni nyina nanso sector ben na no ogya no mu wenje obi emu na me the nyame ase. So with the benefit of hindsight, no Ghana de share do na shall say who say eh na me koko kuyani na minimu say wo the 128 cedi na ebe to koko mu na enya over 3,500 na de beka ho nka koko ni koto abama kionet aban debi se me no galamse fo na kwakubu ahe ka che se omo na omo nenam the various small scale mining ne galamse sites e ka che omo se omo ntoma NPP aban na omo ba omo be yen hyehyɛ na hyehyɛ no ono onim sa wo be gi no gold ni nyina akoma menu asa me jamfi so ono na ento na wate gold pound bo so every 13,000 cedis ya ba 8,500 anko to ma o enko anto ma headmaster for ne charge for mo say oh adentina prekwan ye the sika of non-perishables ni nyina akoma buffer stock NAFCO, yes. National Food and Buffer Stock Company. Ena hanante wono no na etoto aduane mamo any Ministry of Agric ena omusisi warehouse emamo ye ne ba ya headmaster sika na shokotoku mo obeto aponchi obeto kosua kakra akokọ nam kakra na nkra ye didi shepe so munim say na beba enkoma ankoto enti at the end of the day no President Akufo-Addo ne ho be ye fe na ni beje obenyina che eno say me call online na girls ni bisa me skincare routine almost a minister for upon hooky for upon hooky and skincare no it's giving girls ni na say is giving they are touching grass enti e da Nyankopon ase say ufiri wakoma mu na osomo man na ye wadwuma yie senior President Akufo-Addo kan no o se wo gidie wo Nyankopon mu na ukun ho ye adwuma emfa ho ni obi beka gina wo gidie no na eda bi be ba papa bi be free mu aba ene president oda na wada menso meda na wada na gold for oil program ya ye kan no me gidi samo amunim baby awiase no kwakan ye ho na nim say e free 1918 ayesi flu because so e ma nipa wu opepepe atorencha ma na etisansi wiase bio na me say ya anya lucky say ye 21st century na torencha na ebeba no eba ye penso e ma covid baaye e ma entokwan so baaye ene ndisi ni te baby o mo say na mo Russia adan munkwan na kam na Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia nim die mu no kan bibi o say ofa bibi to say francophone countries within the African continent and West African sub-region na omunyina their hip is still tied to France. In fact, omukwa here mo heard the level of grants as some of the countries received. Because British colonies near French for no policy of assimilation. Yeah, policy of association. And independent papa. Ye independence ayankasa ne ye na ye tutu ye bibia. Omo de nentisa. Still no there is some level of influence from colonial masters on their fiscal policies in Yamanema. And to know mutimi use France for more currency. Etime the anko musika no mudino. And in any way we check the population of all these countries or mudi France CFA na. No say Bema still don't say external shocks in a bar and yet dinsa. Yeah. Name ye currency na Ghana hanko na yedi. Yeni any anko. Ghana is heavily relied on imports. Enti at the end of the day no see the na wo de ton agiska odwomu a dollar na wo de bekwa akwa akoje ni eni bibia esisika na chi enti die na aban no na ese ebeye se Ghana wo hwe ade a ye wo ewo sika value etise sika ye betimi de esi di nechi a na ye gold no nso so a free bra Ghana jefa ahudie ebeka 2017 na gold dodo a Ghana ye wo in your reserves nyina ye 8.7 tons echese na esakra yesi wiase nyina ofa top 10 a ye ka ho Africa ne number 2 ne ebetu South Africa ba number 1 enso so hu Ghana de she bebra ye hu gold da ebi asese na galamsey fu ahu bi meme de na meme hu ne ye ne ye ko haja na ye de abane de man ye de guye ko mu no enye no bia me gold bar na me hu bi da enti at the end of the day no edie na ye beye atimi ama in line with the Bank of Ghana Act as amended by the Bank of Ghana Act 2016 edie na ye beye as part of their functions because they are allowed to buy gold.
Of course.
By act. Enye say bia bibi na ya hye jatena ba bia hye. Omo beye den na omo timi de aboga na sidi no ho ban. Ho no ne ye dey a national policy and e wo 2 legs by policy ni di gold purchase program.
Yes.
Say aban no ma Bank of Ghana agina ni tumi so under the Bank of Ghana Act atoto gold. Na gold ni ye de beye den ye de beye enema mienu. Gold reserves and a gold for oil. Enti ye to gold no na emom ye de bi be ye reserves na ye de bi so asesa for fango.
Yeah.
Edi enti na fango ne ade titru nti a pese ye de gold sesa. Se wo hwe ade a na demand dollar pa na ye BDCs na omokra fango ye den. Ede bagana because na abribia no SSA Bank of Ghana ye forex auction ananya sa na opepe otimi epe dollars e wo system no nyina aboabo no ede mo omo so monko amansan adwaso nkoto fango dollar ni ho afango ni ho na obetia na ye nua jonjinapo no hunahuna ye aka 3 days na oil na sa enso so under NPP are buying for 8 years not once any shorty fuels or pumps. Even Nigeria, we are oil giants in terms of omo drilling any processing ni bibiano omo krano na omo oil timisa pump mancrophos sa poly tanks the filling stations omo kope fanwato. That was not our case because near the ebrebi ebehu se crisis bi betwinity no near the policy aba near aba be hye. Entinana ne woman say ensama minua Peter kan ni nyina no kre ye to gold no with an arrangement Bank of Ghana ejina omutumi so eso PMMC asene PMMC na NDC for akose sanidi no gold board no asesa mbranum se be ya uyo hini o ye hwan yo una naja gold kra wuntimi nton je so akoton amasa mejamfi PMMC na masha no ntoma foforo adane daniani no magide ama gold board fo no enti nan kan tete no ye anasa ye nya tete ye penso no Bank of Ghana so PMMC asene no mama mo cedis no mo di cedis ni nyina akọ recognized small scale mining companies no ho no makwa to gold no so mo koto na PMMC the gold no mo mai den ama Bank of Ghana se ye ko amansa adwaso koto fango esese nka fango no ye de dollars ne ma OMCs no ye den ekoto na mo the boss to so ye den abam am matimi deal with recognized and as a legal entities o betimi de fango aba abre box to no magi gold instead of sika and that happened and I don't say what your reserves program ne gold for oil program no and say yetimi boa ye ma fango na ekọ ya because of conflicts ni ade e ma no kodru be se 24 cedi so kan ya ye mfiri so na ate so aba form kra significant
na number 14 as
ba enti interventions we na boa e ma yetimi pushi prices ne down interventions no e na boa ma yetimi pushi prices ne down eno anso so na boa ye ema reserves no ebo cedi na chiba ema nyame adom cedi no so ana edwane a NDC for ntime mpene say omo beji the exit record of President Akufo-Addo ne Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ban no omo exit record on 6 January 2025 atum ene omo kwa na omo pe data na say figures e ba during the crisis period ene omo de be ya ntoto ho
ye free so na ye say
exchange rate 14 cedi 70 pesos and no come say there be na 17 cedi and ne kwa abochi ho ne ko bisa say dollar na yesi no cry ya ba ko pe Who draw 10 cedi to hono? Who need dollar ni bi o?
10 cedi no call 11.
Aye. Who would do 11 na ba to hono? What's the directives akwa banks and say international companies are omuwo sika oho omo baba beji omo sika unless they are backed by deposits enye sam omo mfa momo na me bisa ya brown rabo upon kroma say backed by deposits na dey no mo patch e no see ebo na me bibi say ba me mpesa me kasa out of ignorance
so what you say did what go busa what
you say me a lawyer ni na me choba operator me nye economist but enu nti na efre bibi consultation me bisa ni nchemu no I was stand or say backed by deposits no more share na patch say eye company krona wo baba be yisika no so the dollar e na beto account no ma e na wutimi yi dollar e ma no wan fa dollar meto ho no ma o kaso wo beje dollar je so ma ne cedi equivalent
yes
na me bisa o multinationals we to say MTN any other companies be free South Africa be free UK be free other places omo di omo investments abakrom ha say be omo be bie nwuma amagana mabuna nya biaye no me pacho momo no pacho ye ni dollar
da be say the cities
pacho data na ye to ni dollars
da bi
na pacho call na ye no omo tie in dollars
da bi
ento omo no sa telcos na other international companies no pacho de no omo ene wa hanye cities ento oba beje aspects of the revenue are remitted to ebi an mother company and so mo de akokra na ma aba na wo kọ na aka se wuni dollar wo de be ma na de na wo pa akire
it's a bit ho
you will be killing FDI into Ghana.
Yes,
it will reduce
foreign direct
business
investment
yes. of this country. I'm Crawford said there be me cry me business wa ha over here we na esese o fulfill with international obligations no na Crawford ya ba be catch us say untimi yi usika ni bi unti no mo toto papa so and it's not just about them. Average Ghanaian businessmen na ebi omo capital cry between 5,000 to 100,000 or $1 million. Omo person omo ko Turkey, China, any other Western countries ekwa kra niema ba edi beye businesses no. Nana aye arehosem. Aye arehosem.
Areho.
Minimum be or say at some point necessary sika wo de kwa kra niema ba no esese o gambling to the mad two different banks. Wa wo de ebedi kan akọ through bia no afansa. No what hobo so me ba ko oni niema obeton. Enti at the end of the day no honorable out forcing onim no kra said there was a gold for oil program.
Yeah.
And they are continuing to benefit from it because mobile ye na ye expenditure in advance of appropriation up to March 2025 no. Almost started to kill so my impact no kra no enye omo first budget
no mo first budget
and I am bisa question na NDC form pines on be answer say na first budget no kra kan in March no patch say na what this bese na meet honorable Aminanta press conference I was so stand say nkuko buon nkete ne sa na ma no kan as at the time I no already media budget review media budget no kra no on release bi I release it. And one name changing na no moye. NHIS I was a Mahama case. No aqua sika ni biaba. No on for additional revenue mau. Maslok sikana ebejena or the women in banking. I want him say 50 million Ghana cedis. Enti me initial capital for any bank. Mitie Shamima on GTV. Or say a bank na ye ka say de mama ya nka say commercial bank. And I'm saying mitie I have
bank bank.
Oh Dana moye budget meeting no. Also they didn't mean said they were talking about a commercial bank.
But which bank?
Now say ye dweche na de ba be mama ade Maslok disbursement to women was in excess of 60% since the time and sana bi batabai. Any community mining scheme almost ya done no cooperative mining.
Yes, responsible mining. Any de kosi
ya no mfie nwotwe. Any B-STEM honorable Aduchuma launch last year. Ma hu ya so masa akoye relaunching.
And I say you so akoye interview Lugas DVL
as Eddie Assembly
and American
even chip embedded passports. Ya launching the last year bo hu de ro Baroness Honorable Shelia Yokobochi Ede baye me kind say honorable Amprechum a media tour across all the media houses ebo hu dewro omoba ye hu yan so omosa so oma launch ni bio chip embedded passport as if said the foreign minister knows anything about it and how it came about. Enti ohene yada ne ada me gidi say and American ye ni omo nhase o Ghana for na start pony atro no ho omo pony ho kakra before the final blow will come and then they will say oh so indeed and some ankrofo ebeka che Ghana for edigina so digi tumi nyina na ya atro na no krebi anim.
Okay, so Minister Medase Ebza Fonti Fatima Tubaka, former information minister and then special aide to the former president Nana Adodanko Akufo-Addo. Nana also ultimately became master stroke appointment to be powerful for himself. In fact, now okay, Makwacheki. Ghana launches new chip embedded passport, a major leap in global connectivity, 2024. Then, interestingly, 2nd May 2025, Ghana's chip embedded passport rollout begins. There's very interesting. It's a way now Foreign Affairs Ministry, no one website. It may no. There be. It may no. But they will come by May. I can see a desire. I do ever.
Na independence from so celebrating na sika ni ho na relaunch sika ni nyina okay kan bo mo no correct me celebrate Ghana
na se no mudi
national prayers dey be sika nka be celebrate
how do yankwai me dase akwaba ye na wa ye den
oh
ye den yakobu no Omako Vima would pa Ray Ayin Mekase Nana Clodage Marolis Kafra Nana Clodage Marolis Oko contest on the mills the contest as a wine Fonka games so you say 3% aha it me I think say me headline be na me use and halation
me 28%
sao it would 28%. It is 3%. About 28% is alcohol that is be muba. And I mentioned also your Muslim and the Tupa and the card but still a daisy one.
Oh, David.
Sir, Mabus was him. Mabus was him.
Oh, my signal before
okay.
I wanted to know also on car, but I knew.
Some numbers more.
Not near my cost.
I'm
not me call my main chair. Ashafon na say me call Primpark election na me nim say abinding na government structure na beba me so na me nim say government structure ni na beba me so but na me nim say level a eba ya na beba ne sa until election grounds na me who say me ne me na Peter ya me Peter no, I am a campaign manager, or I am a campaign strategist, or I am a campaign coordinator. Juma Peter, yeah, Nyankopon Beshirano, papa, Peter Ankuma, JP, JP Peter Ankuma, Nyankopon Beshirano, day and night. Me say 12 o'clock. Primpa election, Ketik 1 a.m. na ya kasa.
In the palace that 200,
120 people. Because we were doing that because yet na name say abiding na NDC abide government structure in no more
a town.
They were against us. By a call mono. In fact, there. Later Peter Nana Kaje me say my say wa bobo bi bo ha. Oho na election we na me who say Charlie sometimes when you say ma oho na oho adolfo ankasa. They betray us. From our own people. Peter, so what can you now? Betrayers.
I made the friend people for you.
I buy no Timmy Yamo, Emma, near my TIA. I don't know what they were getting or they are going to get. But in all things, we give thanks to God.
I mean,
idea where we went into the, he said, Piffy said, Uncle Baby, but me, I not BBC, me caught into a contest and I may be not say. Manya na meka che Nyankopon pese ada material moment menya sade no that's always my because idea and all the time no say manya idea no it turns out to be good for me
okay
but my main fa okonya we opportunity we na mean that nipa bebrase. There are some people because me who say Charlie amano ye no ya na medwane kakra na makwa ji we kakra meji we kakra nipa bebre boaye. Nipa be ebi wo kra me kwa na masamba me kwa na masamba na o ma me kakra. Ni na say na ye o ye de no na ye de run up and down but na ya no motia heavily. But I will go to them one by one and tag them. Me person be more muji. Nyankopon ni momo nyana. Nyankopon so na be share mo anya nipa da seni. O ma abo am na Nyankopon be share mo. Support o mo dey I will go to them one by one. Down masi. Na election there me de ni na ma Peter na onya wie o obeka bia ka ho.
Yeah, he.
Prepare election.
Yeah, co-officer. Aye.
Oh, yeah. Peter, who never a view of her, Peter, you know, so one catch him at that. Just what they are called.
Or the woman.
Yes.
Are you?
Also, one catch him at that. Said they meet here, no.
Mid over catch him.
Said they meet here, no. One catch him at that. Now, me say, I don't know, me say, yeah, you know, Islam, your friend, Bibi Imana. So obi ye bibi mawo ana waka bibi a kire wo say memmo obi ante this would ade na akọ we mu won ka kire obi a just would dey akọ ewo you nobody must hear. So I understand what Peter is saying. I will not begrudge him.
Okay,
having said that, my member minister can say NDC for mo ye den also
QNet
QNet where new word new Emmanuel ntropa de ope abanya otwantro e wo wiase nyina opa NDC ho a ende e wona abonsa na ebe kasa look mama pa say Peter de ade we ma me yem hye me say ato force na kan
ayabote program
me video no wa
Peter J what about tape ni de ende me ni bibia
ayo
look liars go for ale say they kind omo twantro cocoa price omo twantro galamsey omo twantro because galamsey say the omo amonko omo seti anti galamsey task forces within their own party be say 10 and omonko blows
6 and meeting
so what
na wa omo do say I mean video no I waka che no anon ko von the tax force no mbediji omusika keke no
hey Charlie one headmasters many are paying your mama so discount be show monsan no marco jo marco to aponchi
wajina point ya
wajini sika ana me kanwa
John Mahama kill him jiao
wajina there okada riders
I say delivery lines
only some organizing okada riders say omoba legalize ni bibia omoba ya omoba college bi omo pair space bi so ombe train omo how many months ni transport minister
in fact okada for no enro mo ti bebre okada for no eko tusek bayi no so car no so mo release obi motorbikes me wo video no
say license 700 cedis want man tia omochi bike na obetua no asa tua additional 600 cedis and san ya release amount.
My goodness
the allergic kind no sa training okay tama
Jida
yes
issue no na omoso ombe training crofo say dey can bicycle
yes
so okay ya sa
youth in bicycle ride
why the show be bicycle watermale
youth in
ya wo tamala wo ni bicycle kada
say ya runzu
wo ni
tama me one of bicycle ya cars
anti wo ya nchrawo
no need to be wa sorry am not what you
anti wa go school wa go sia
eno na na moto ndoso you scarcely omo moto kwa scaffold na motorbike asoka ye ko bibia tipper truck na go na dia go mu ti say anua
ene mo na o betwe ni mo no wo say wa
nobody train me in bicycle riding
ba ko kwa saka youth in coastal sanitation in Tamale
na coastal
And then you go besa. Metal what in the
also the bar, where on the bar, on the bar.
Hey, all you need is time, Miss Ramo. Give time some time. I like the trust.
Now, send them a car, no, send a bicycle there, or be a champion. But motorbike, any hunter, I didn't know how to ride a motorbike because they been here. In fact, Omo no use motorbike, a farmer service where you're from, say, Omo, extension service for no officers. So, and no crano, a be a motorbike on Nipa Besset, who could be an hour before.
Midwives.
Any midwives, and no crown and net also. Supervisors. No moon nipping. That was a time. You me was in school. But I'm not going to say, I'm better no bio. You know, so then I mean, what the basket? Okay,
bicycle. Costa,
the Costa. Now, basket, you know, can show you how to ride bicycle.
Someone can ye. It's
all said. Peter Kanye said, Deputy Governor, go for him. Or can same way on the 6th of August.
August, yeah, this month, yeah.
In fact, 4th August, the boss in Ankasa. Honor a Dr. Johnson Asiama or Committee Economic and Development Committee of Parliament. Yenia Kojo Pon Krumana ranking member. Only the Oko Cow says you go for it. And I am Mama say finance minister can say good for a no dear baby. Say sham, Mama Pa. Say dear Papa no Kai or say 1.7 approximately 1.7 billion worth of petroleum cargo was financed under this program under Gold for Oil.
What kind of parliament?
Parliament.
Na yon
House of Records.
House of Committee on Economy and Development.
Are you surprised that they said something to House of Records and when it comes to Ghanaians?
Okay. It's not surprising.
Okay.
House of Records.
So no, 1.7 billion. Apart from
dollars,
dollars.
Right.
Now use to go for oil. Go for a programmer. Editor oil. Apart from that, to stabilization of the city now, more can say or more Anto is forcing no. They injected over $2 billion to stabilize the city
from Nanado's reserve. First also.
Over $2 billion and almost supply. I don't know Bank of Ghana, World Bank, any IMF, Bank of Ghana one. Say you cannot continue with this artificial.
One and about twice.
Yes. That's yes. You cannot continue with this kind of CD stabilization all the time. No, scanner war reserve no OD inject it to stabilize the CD. To mama warning. One and all my no say no. You've not done anything apart from injecting dollars. One said dollar CD no started a wiki.
Even the mama evidence.
So about way there, me mark an yama bebre. Me what can I add again? Wagadre there. Said the minister Kaya no. This is just 8 months in a way. Ghanaians who call say TikTok here very interesting. Who call TikTok? Yeah, testimonies. Hey, Nana Boadu. Hey, apology videos.
This is so uncharacteristic of Ghanaians. Say bibini na say obo somewhere idin. But this time around they are not keeping it. No. Yes.
And now one more come out no. E dey umunya.
Nothing.
No more aban mu. These are ordinary people. Hey, I don't know how to be my no.
What's your Kobesha? So your Kobesha. Minister, now we're coming to you.
Mr. Sati, we have father no to Hey, we have father release the father say
Peter watching no.
Say could to say bam. Me catch will say. Na unim impressively. Me was okay na me ye na me ko hwe. Na me general manager Chris Okwe so no so hwe.
Yes.
Eti mo challenge me ye mo hye say hey. no so kwase cheye ono so ahu e no afford dia mama na tell my hold madam Mr. Santi decide Mr. Santi dey twen no say amade ba mama ne bribe okay so what there why that no I was for how you would be radio then 5.9 movement any
graphic online
graphic online was say where dated June 8, 2017 nipa ko otwo ye inok dafa frempon was say why ye audit uncovers youth in coastal sanitation model in northern Ghana. Audit uncovers
na say ye launch bibia ye nye ho audit. Money was spent. Money was spent. Yeah.
I was saying it was really
coastal sanitation.
It was really
Nothing.
It was really large, and scale was
money was spent.
And money was spent. That's why audit.
Patoko. Wait. Any story in the man kind listen.
What the number was?
A recent special audit at the YE has revealed that there were some beneficiaries in the youth in coastal sanitation model in Tamale and other areas in northern Ghana. This is contrary to the main objective of the youth in coastal sanitation model, which is to maintain clean beaches and ensure a conducive environment for inhabitants and tourists. The acting CEO, Justin Frepo-Kodia, who revealed this, said it was baffling that beneficiaries of the model meant to be in the coastal areas were in northern Ghana, a savannah area. Meant to be. They die say more. Mr. What tell you? What tell you?
Everything.
Mr. What tell you? I deserve everything. Okay, can
including what you love.
Hey, Peter. Let me tell you.
Godo, why are there? Me Judy but and never who. You've taken it a step further.
Sanitation in the northern region.
Me kind of say that my bottom.
Minister, more beach or no? I
was in the north a few weeks ago in the election. It wasn't in Nova. And I'm meeting Zabzugu.
Enya Hono. Enya Hono. What all?
So open a car.
What's okay?
Before a Bamboy, and now I'll say a walk, a beer, river beer, ecosi, white water.
But
it's a river bar, and your coast.
A ponche a casse a nentry, and what am I eating what you have to? None any river and find your coast. And no,
a young Pama Quajamadina.
That's it.
But you also be sure you get the ultimate content.
My minister said for the first time and on also base.
Nemo amoshe no bigidi se mo adwiri asa meka bigidi se mo bebre mo se god have ho we dey zu ha wani nyame chade na me produce ade no ma produce no you see that is baby and this is what they call you and sa so mo ye what somebody say minister kasa was say Shami ma Muslim ya wo ye Felix Kwacho Fusu deputy in fact ye ko
deputy minister
obi a wo ye how can so
on say on look at mo frefra am for say mo tuntia me
you obi a wo ye minister ni deputy enye deputy minister what be that Shami ma Muslim na mo hon wo ye deputy minister but enam say mo person mo twa 20 no ye say wo ye deputy minister meanwhile she is deputy to Felix Minister, what is that?
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
And I'm be on no man here can be which shocked me.
Yeah.
When him say about
much no.
Regulation no. In fact, gentleman ya pencil ya the man or doctor ya the man utimu say ono ani nim de no hu say there be health issues near inti as I say yemfa framework bimra. And the first time I met him at one of the comms meeting, I was so impressed because I said this man knows his stride like only munia or person or yet to change the space. The appointment bar out the way NDC for sitting at them. Sena or more per quine no. Eddie will be about the 2 deputies account.
Assistants.
And it's so shocking to me. Sir, such an information went over our head that I quietly will be until share or my appointments anyhow. Mr. Wow. And to Mr. Ramona, we are central for RTI and I am more apply be. The full record of Nipadodo Abino. I point to because
I remember list the issues bad 3 match was a be used RTI na e de kwakoye ko kan kasai
abaya obai also appointed system ministers now so wagadre and okoye ni regional organization na say omoye staff presidential staff in charge
of the region. We are deputy ministers.
Intimi can be.
I'll be back up my cook Kwaku and some local then I work.
Me dear DVL boss any information be or the about out.
What's it saying?
Beginning of this year nya or say office no inherity no eyeka eno wabo any afe no no put measures in place but from February 2024 ena aban eye adwene se ye pese ye de nhihye fofo ba na ye sisa na ma plate systems no any senior nkrofo abuse no anyhow ebeboa ni revenue mobilization omaye training omuni police for akasa omaye bibia edu implementation stages ne keke na se aban wo hoyi eye nto aso nto aban mu a ni kwe odaye se obekwa akọ contest osu klote kole klote enti uye adwuma apili the Ghana community no emfa frakadam nya adwuma manokure enye nokure tembia hwe yedru mpempenso a data ebegu wani mu ase se wo kasa na waye wo ya wadwen se udi nkomo ana wo ka aban asem na abaye frakadam tuturu emu ubetumi akasa wie no na chat gp eyiwama na eyiwama wonim so akasa wie o abrochi o ena nkrofo start digi ena netuwa dead
mamemwa menu akofifo so nkansa mebona baso ofifo so nkansa asemba na wonim hunu die kwampa de wonim die na watro bi social media no obehye eti na Logas we hum ya ne menkwai ni nyina na wakoma what D block wa na wa krobia ayi ni kwai DVL CEO no meni nyina na wolegon come what D block
deputy the ground him no
ti holma na wolma yeja yakoto unu obi o the same block I just wa danfo back ayina na danfo paro no da ayi na danfo paro krobia kwa brasa tetago at that time no almost starting no campus tago ade ne be kuntokwa political is that be na tago defeat no wo so wa but that tago imagine say kese be no waye no efia be senti ho de yekoto aboss wa na je say de gina wi hwe was saying Enran or the buy was it the DVL CEO Julius Nikwe lied during the interview with Marisanda Amadou when he claimed he did not inherit anything from the previous administration which might have contributed to the increase in revenue he boasts of. The DP plate stickers project he is claiming credit for and cites as reason for the growth in revenue was undertaken in 2024 and was only waiting to be issued in January 2025. Net government. Now I say these are the facts and figures, right? These are the facts with evidence attached. In January 2024, Minister for Transport gave approval for DP plates to be converted to stickers through digitalization. A vendor was procured and design for the sticker was done together with process flow for its issuance. Documents attached. DVLA set up a committee to implement the stickers in May 2024. Memo attached. In June 2024, the vendor signed an agreement with the existing manufacturers of DP plates to collaborate in the issuance of the stickers instead of them going out of business. But evidence in imagine say I will say DVLA war office back could be war. Adenta for Ridge Junction now will call aviation road. I want some more DVL office be home. Oba ya no, I say commission DVL new branch. Me what that is what that.
Why na the entire penny for be into me information. On say omo be classes my penny for be bre ewo yoko ni sa anoma. Enti part of engagement no koneba no. You are not supposed to release anything because your character say you are being investigated. So you can inkrofo na enkasa no. Na de enwinti no muntu bi nkasa no. Oh, after you fear man. Yes.
Kata ma ye wa ban mu na nkrofo nkasa.
Nobody, you see, adia e wo kwa ye ayem wa ye ho no say, "Tell me be say my information." We see things are there. We knew what was going on.
No, Coca, wait a minute. Me no nya adwe. We pardon me no nya adwe. Me no nya adwe. Me no nya adwe.
Emeka presidential travels kakra. So what dey buy. Me can be bia no na me meka.
Okay, it's a Drew Hollow dia. It's a bedroom dia.
Information bia na e wo. Yes, e Drew baby na e bi nya edin. But sa na e wo nya na e wo dada. But nipa na no wo ho no. Ya waka che o sa de na wo ko release no baby odi akoniaba no wo release an ho be kire no nti nya abotre no wo be de
oh how
na ho be kire nsese
no kura be ka
na ho be kire nsese
enye no na me ka you are being investigated yes say men found some can be you say some questions obede abe no atena se
if it's something that relate to your office is not your personal property.
All right, enti ye be call next you know so nyame ncha de ye wo former information minister ewa ha yes enti ebedi nkomo na onim papa ko akoi enti ebia ye kwa akoti aba obeba me de be studio one so ye trained journalist we lawyer he knows he's well read enti eba bedi media ethics in the political environment we know ye kwa akoti aba obeba pa kwa akoi obeba so so mi ma wope
oh papa
ti dane de ye dane de kapa
no Reggie Rockstone wo or in crime am 7 for mouth
scanner enclane scanner
ye ba bedi enkomo kakra na
ya de na niam bebre mo ya mo media mo fa menka
enti enkomo e ba bedi na efa now the new craze to arrest people on social media. There's a new craze to arrest people on social media. There's a new craze to stifle freedom of the press and then free speech. Ewo my ganem. Ye bedi hu nkomo. Hwe me ya chi me. OS speech me say my cancer.
Ye nyao.
Me da me tafu to 5 million billboard aso da mitiri so. Yachi wakatechie every fa Rambo styling na jo yakoche no me dem put I think so far me dem part very decent
oh that's why we invite you only Paul there it was an invitation and I be arrest
and the be arrest
enter kumine
da na jo get the how much and the ebaye fancy comedy woye TikToker wabie na yi say ye ka say ya na me se bie telephone lines and na wo bia frɛ was a femme akoso aboatema minim no ebikwa bwa we be man polo use oba voice and now we ebikwa just see what be wo no so what adenta me no ka say ebe no okukumlemle ha no waka asemi asem wo ka ye no wan kasa yi na meme as host baka se patcho akoso aboatema so aka we die wan kasa yi ntwetwe san watwe asan wapachew okwa na mia masa pa chelse o asema nipa ko no be kan no ebusafo if it's against anybody's sensibilities amon fanche I've been responsible enough sana fanti comedy ye sa na fanti comedy ye omo ba ya kwachi fanti comedy walo so mo invitation and okoye ya china tum e deny ni bail wadam by 5 days fanti comedy die no se Obama pokrasi ye dey se Obama pokrasi ade oya ne se video wa ewo social media so dada ya enkofokuta etubrani esomode ekokon entokwa wo chieftaincy dispute bi omukokon ana se Obama so concern Ghana say ade mahunie the police for mon show na ade be demonstration nya ho adwuma na police for akwache no Peter Bacho police was let statement no you ready na police for akwache se Obama pokrasi ahomache ebu ne dan ebu ne back ebu ne kitchen door sa kromfo akwache no achemkwa na wotwe mienu ne achemkwa wo aye program e wo Kumasi wuntumi television de wuntumi radio wo ka san bi fa helicopter ya kwahwe hwin yesi wankasa ye police for fa kafri akra ekwache no wo edwoso wakoto de bayre ya ode koma ne ma akoto tutu atuo ache no edna frɛ dwoso abankan anajo without recourse to anybody na management o Kumasi enam ehwehwɛ ne busa police station to police station ena bi omo kwa kobusa obi ase yenim ho hwe so I was see a quiet report say ye nipa no ayira e wa dwoso police station. That's a report there. And I jolly mate, you say, omo de kwa Shy Hills, some na Shy Hills and a Bermuda Bay, a chair, a boy bear tray. That night, Chema won't really didn't sleep. Cause ye chair nam nina ni jina ho, meaning na a war a cry ni didn't come. No busa, I could say, a drop match, metes no be my information say, ye number NIB. No more a sneak, no more than a cock a UCID. Then, or mama natural the statement without the presence of his lawyer. Lawyer Afwakwa no or ben to who no catch him God me who ni pardon to be me ni kudin komo okoya was a lawyer am match statement interview no so okay den ye behwe ye de court ye deny ni bail ye say one bra wukuada 20th ye koya judge no second court relieving judge no wa adwuma the court didn't sit no problem and ye say ade chi fiada so ye koyo so a by 9 o'clock judge adwuma was mapon 9 o'clock I was there. Judge Abedjuma was a wapon. Police force for na ama.
9 o'clock.
9 a.m. and upon 9. Relieving judge. 9 a.m. judge say Abedjuma wapon. And I'm saying Ejuma be there de ko bi anya bi ope. Was a wapon. Etime na wo ka say menu achim kwa edem what the police station. What them still. Judge can say yen keep on until 20th. And that's the 23rd now. It is at 3 days here with them is in. At whose instance is Achimokwa still being kept behind bars? At whose instance?
Order from above.
And no, ye be di hun komo say a hefa ni ye kono. Minister.
Gordon, me I've been following conversations around this arbitrary arrest. Mejidi say enkomo no niam mienu ne clarify.
Okay.
There is an impression NDC for ni create as if say NPP are buying ni ye bibi and no mo so buy no more be retaliate. That impression has to be cured because Ghana in 2017. Ghana has been there since 1957. Me first time I PTSD 16 September 2015 when you call Let My Vote Count Alliance demonstration. You call Bro Gabi, you call Shutu Justice Ablekuma North. NDC for
and they were free.
Omobe can send toast no dear good tomato paste.
Who do can't ask him?
Million pound.
Debbie, Dr. Manebuama, Dr. Manebuama, when he said that he wasn't late, Dr. Manebuama, the cars are several.
say and
say yes
yenya de justice
mama fini ma basa
37 military hospital me kan say around 8 p.m.
yes
na fe ne de ne ba be ko theater na madam for ba kon so asata me ne ye ppg ye hwie ensuo hye kata oba akokọ ne ye hwie ensuo hye na ne fa nyina anoa na we mu ne side a whole side na anajo bre e ma besia ye gu 37 military hospital na boy ba kon so ano no so ye security around airport em say friend from pom me refidin no ono so ya to bullet ni bia bonita maniti apaya wanye ye da on na di kan wu ye owu kra justice
so justice ye ni bi epo yeah
any enkrofo bebra ye di omani ya not even because omoka bibio just because they embarked on a demonstration duly authorized and I say the adequate notice ama the Ghana Police Service ye nam kwano so a obi antobo ye bu Ibrahim Ajemo ye say ya reho
na atoshi toto akwele
enti at the end of the day no
oba ni mo obi so dwane na wo the case si no so
the conversation should not be the case say oh we mamon kahwe na retaliation no mo ye retaliation abrebe na under president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo aban ye bo eyewitnesses for granting interview
me hu bi da
enye protesters
dabi
enye content creators enye journalists enye eyewitness onam ne ba bi na centroni afra no Spintex Road no so ese ye hu se aye demolition o Magdan warehouse e de na wudim ne ye bu no te se comfort tachi amwa wakwa wi ade ye wi ayatam no de na ko Blue Gates in the name of national security ntima obi ye bi so obi asem kra journalist bi so obi question amanenka
dabi
enu centroni de omuti se dede abamu omu ni bebi efiri ono de munja no na ye ka say eyewitness no say wotwirim say ye gya no ba ko akohu hwane ne kamafo say wo hen say ye bo no wapra ni nyina omo say we should sweep it under the carpet. My point is that you cannot approbate and reprobate.
Dabi
want to mean an opposition that is fighting against the so-called culture of silence. Even Muntie 3-4 mu aban mu didi ajajo for attempt threaten a mass on be bomo on be prom on be ku on be to mo na akra na yenya e man no mo ye ministers at the time including the current vice president sa okanya Emma omo endorse petition say yenja omo
yes
na se mo benya kwanya bedi aban mu a mo sesen mo so obi nka bi
dabi
what are you talking about?
Yet to be Ghana NDC for
NDC for there, they don't have monopoly over Kasa and giving their opinions and talking and complaining and advocacy. There be I didn't say democracy. Yes, a majority will have their way, but the minority will have their say. Your opposition and say I can't Kasa Boasho. Mimi say me can be control be social media and family.
Dabi.
Enti Gordon, we should not just move the conversation to sorry the munja no on the musa so Obama the munya hwe ya ira dem enya hwe and I say NPP 4 ye bi no mu ye bi. I think we should cure that. Number 2, aya na ye kan we you would realize say obia across board even when I was a minister near advocacy ni say unim ya repeatedly criminal libel law.
Yes.
President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo ne President Akufo-Addo Roma. President Akufo-Addo as AG, President Akufo as president. Omo penso na mo say there were a lot of remedies to redress defamation any yi. Enti Emma yen yusu your friend is saying criminal procedure kwan from prosecuting Akufo na nyesa.
Yeah.
And nkrofo say Electronic Communications Act no because it speaks against publication of false news. No?
Yeah.
So be the atra and also publishing be anya no kra will recourse to criminal proceedings.
Yeah.
And I know they quickly as a window be or honoma bibi says yanoko. Na Gordon Obechi say Obama so publish false information. False information ben a chain fake doctors and fake professors. False information ben and a chain one kasa would code of ethics or a code of conduct ababe launch na munipa ba kukure ni so or fake doctors and fake PhD holders and fake fool professors. Publication of false news will be in the chair. Deception ben and the chain one now walk in front of parliament. I could swear under oath. A tramp me a fool professor.
A trampwa.
A trampwa ka home.
Sawubwa.
And at the end of the day, no, mona mo see some culture of silence. You should have the stomach to stomach a lot of nonsense. And I now walk about your friend is saying, boy, you fancy comedy as me. The boy was so respectful immediately. He didn't make such comment. He dissociated, he retracted, and also said he did not associate with that. And yes, I'm on central phone professionally. Makwa gentity one central. Edwanya sani echere.
Sani echere.
Na mo amata mo central ni akotena TV so. Anasa radio so I was streaming online. Akasa wono. Adan ye ti wiase na Pastor Miles Monroe ne yire akonya accident no mawu. Adan ti na ti wiase a Kobe Bryant ne ne bagigi o mawu. Adan ti na President Akufo-Addo te ase na wowu ana ye den. Na wonte na wiem hyemu na nkoto no ntwe ne baabi.
Na wasaka say nyagopon kunu se what the time ibise no kwa de a.
Obi anche no.
Na me bisa Peter say sasem no ye chi akwa no.
Dabi obi anya
ne we. Enya no mpo mama other instances enkwala ntoto fifi wa bi o manya po club bia po mo ho ana o mo te secondary school
girls bi no
sorry so mo hia former president Tidi Akodi Sikaduro.
Yes.
Oh, seriously.
And young girls. And kwa mo ye ayo.
Omo boni din free SHS beneficiaries. E boni din to assess ye ji uti ye di Kodi Sikaduro. Ye be ku ye be u say. E no kra po no. Me say GES4 yes omo dismiss omo. Omampanyi dada e pa cha omo se da bi.
Sandi omo bae no.
Munya omo. E ma omo ja omo nyina omo fo omo totroto. Omo ana omo ti TV so
exams for no so boys na omo kotro.
Bibia omo nyina e ma omo ja omo. Omo nyina boy ai. Omo nyina e ma omo ja omo. Omo ana e ma omo pasco free. Yetua BC fees mo omo free. No akọ free SHS free. Even trainees are no mudi 3 square meals a day. And some are motomane or mampenyi. And so also no, he has the stomach to tolerate it. He would rather entertain a noisy population than a silent one. And to no oka bibia, oka say one young woman be at Jubilee House. Ebisa no question.
I remember.
Na say aya ye can send be sati wa mampenyi that aya na ofane say. And also there be ono de enha no kra. No, even before he became a president as a lawyer, no president and Danko Akufo-Addo, the advocacy ni say yenja obia emanen kasa, and you would realize say obia bibia na about to the attention if it was an offense personally committed against him or simunja emanenka.
Minister any sorry facha me. Akufo-Addo intervenes on behalf of 8 SHS students sacked for insulting him. Where Friday 13th January 2023, the President of the Republic, Nana Akufo-Addo, has intervened in the matter of 8 senior high students dismissed for insulting the President. According to a release dated Friday, January 30, 2022, the Minister of Education said the President intervened in the matter after his attention was drawn to the dismissal of the 8 final year students of Chiana Senior High School. The President has intervened in the above subject matter after it was drawn to his attention. Consequently, honorable region. Enti de ko see no. Enti na pese me read we mo nko. Enye say bia.
Say headline no cry charitable enya insult. If there is anything that constitutes threat, I mean jin this threat be so sin obi say oju usika oju uti akoyesika. Enti no say no. And and it was published and it was circulating online.
Yes.
It is no different from say social media obi TikTok live so can be bisa. It is no different. And even the point is that enkrofo na amachi omo no hwele di omo che na kan fanti comedy ho ono de no kan
ay
they lied on her. They lied on her just to incarcerate her.
Yes.
Omo so obi aka bibi afedu omo se eyo no na oye nipa kro enyo no oye nipa kro. In fact omo chi no odamu kra na nipa no was so on live making videos so omo chi ge yikotu mu e wa bronca hwe enti since when any started say Maji media license even for media houses ayaje aban state ajapade de amamu amasi media station etimi fa nkrofo betena so ka say ai na omampanyin da o na ku na yere e na wo ye say cancer ana hu video e kan sem hunu e kan frani masam na obi eja mamako na sese no Ubehu NDC for we will not tolerate anybody saying anything against the president. Masa agro na mudi. Yeah. Wa humijiem Ghana for na ekasa. Edru ona esese ye can constructively. I don't peddle insults. I think say it is below me.
Yeah, of course.
I think say at every point in time no uobi can raise the quality of your arguments and not go into personal attacks near you. Na mo ayechi obi for threats na nsem hunu kan omo nkwachi onabo ho ahwan. Zita o say eyi ne ozo ohen. UK. Kon Facebook na ko nsem hunu oka. Helicopter ibai nkwanhye ibai kra ko nsem hunu bi okan so enya no nwanwa say NPP for doso. Soja muti no ye say Obama o masa ache ne de na ko police headquarters because of ono
so what atwa say
no ye chinkro for nsem hunu ahwa na ka bisine no
muti timon
enti no Mesramu NDC for enyam nkwa na mo monopoly of the day ye nyina ebe kasa ontimi nka obi akasa bo anhye e did attempt dem encourage obi aso nko did obi attempt the moment na baby assume say wa win election to obi nka wasem no de ye beka ne namoda paso ne ye ho entimi encourage NPP youth no nso emma obi enhunahuna o ka wasem na wo ho adanse eye no kre o perspective on the issue no unim so betima pensem atwa wo receipt the aba to social media be encouraged opposition ye juma any say be criticize aban constructively ye juma any say be bie Ghana fo ani enka by now kokofo ekuafo ma bra some omani mu fifire yamfa ye advocacy anka omo de ho ame amodahuru anche say eh ye bumo Obi Ghana President Akufo-Addo penso ye ni Cote d'Ivoire fo akọ benkroma kwa amansan dwaso ekọ ye die ni sika papa e de abre kokọ akuafo honorable ato forcing ejina simpie so e ka say ye bumo no the 7 minimum 7,000 Ghana cedis yes and o de be makoko akuafo Dabi ono ka 7,000 Ghana cedis
can be a he can obi aka
7,000 Ghana cedis
ahise 6 no
atu
7,000
sisi onso na e fa
and then so sika
na me na ye ni sa
egu na so o fan si makoko akuafo 7,000 on beje enti mesrama na breach abonti ne ye twa dwadwo kakra na me pacho ewia ye be resurrect the issues they will not go to sleep enti manya wadwene say ubehunahunu obia say o mane nkasa mesramo military rule kra NPP for mo survive unim ye mpanyufo dodo omkode damu there was a day na chairman Fred Blay no mama me story of how long he was incarcerated
yes
and the military rule na
kwaku ba ko
omunyina obi ati radio so niti no oka ekwan a ye de ne fa so because of politics because of the center wadwene ya osa meme 3 days bi a wodi ni pe kwakọ twere counterback bi nti na ebe stop obi from free expression ana culture of silence for mun sorry oni ebe kan bi
na munti
ne
yesa munti
and the TikTokers munti na jana
ade Ghana phobia
kuma obi aso echa ade Ghana phobia wana culture of silence here so for them we he munti na eyewitness age sotro munti ne ya brenti mesremo kasa ne de
ye beka na mu ye beka no kwampa so
ye beka no kwampa so kan ye wahu me beka asema mitumra na makresi ne minimu na meka ne me wahu adanse
me dase all right enti abusafo abose 10:15 10:15 manager no manager akasente wo me time no kakra aka ho Peter Yenko me afa bianke kan letter no wana okay Mr. Santi mpacho krata na me de ma wo no ebra na omampanyin na wo ye opposition leader no wo cho krata de koma eti enie wo say dear President Nana Akufo-Addo koma I am appalled at the growing criminalization of speech and journalism in Ghana under your watch in this 21st century. An investigative journalist was murdered under very troubling circumstances, yet While the Ghanaian people and the international community have demanded justice, government's inability or unwillingness to act is obvious to all. The police have virtually shelved the investigations into this brutal murder. There have also been several disturbing incidents of harassment of journalists in the line of duty. We have witnessed media establishments close down on your instructions. We have witnessed media establishments close down on your instructions despite many appeals to you. Now, Eda Ebebusa John Mahama Dijina Adakemu say, on your instructions, can he prove, say, the closure of those radio stations was at the direct instance of the president? Is there any evidence? Now,
another time you close it down.
Eti one was on. Oti John Mahama na me close it down to me. Mami can you? Eti mami can you? Was it now in a space of less than 2 weeks? 4 people have suffered police action, criminalizing their right to free speech. As Attorney General at the time, who led the repeal of the criminal libel law in order that citizens could freely express their views, it is unconscionable to be suppressing the rights and criminalizing the speech of citizens and journalists. It is even more worrying when the power of the state is used as a pilot tool in this intimidating endeavor. Radio and TV presenter Captain Smart was dragged from court, and although he had been granted bail, sent into detention. Another radio presenter, Boadu Benye, has been incarcerated. A civil society activist was arrested, detained, sent to court on criminal charges, granted bail, and yet detained again for making a statement against you, President Akufo-Addo. As if to suggest insincerity behind the serious decriminalization of speech that you led, another radio presenter, Bubiansa, has been arrested, detained, and charged, criminalized for speaking and making allegations against your wife. Many of Bubiansa at the Crown told First Lady to say Wakuya Sasi. And you think me and Kanwasem. Okay. Again, last week, security personnel linked to your party brutalized a radio presenter and producer in the city of Takoradi. Such lawless attacks have today become common occurrences in our country. President Akufo-Addo, you cannot continue to oppress the people, criminalize speech when these matters are essentially civil in nature if you feel offended by them. I think it's the last paragraph. So now, again, the bijaha, I hayatra, aha. Was say, this is a dangerous blueprint you are fashioning for our dear nation, and it must not be encouraged. Your actions as president have totally discredited your self-acquired accolade as a human rights lawyer and activist. Ghana has long emerged from the unfortunate past where journalists were cowed by incarceration and brutalization. I fear that if you do not take immediate action to arrest this unfortunate trend, when you exit the high office of president in January 2025, freedom of speech and the free media will certainly not be counted as part of the legacy you leave behind. Your brother, John Dramani Mahama.
Highly scandalized.
You are?
This is...
Maybe, my Pitanko.
This came from somebody who had been president for 4 years.
Yes.
4.5 years, in fact.
Yes.
Who had been president. The name SC was, if say SC was under a, under honor by mo. Arrest of journalists under the first term, no ni bibia. Now on there.
As what confirms what in one day.
Oh, there, Peter.
Medasi.
Minister can be about the criminal libel and seditious law.
Yes.
Na so be can be na omino et timi kofano so asema wakano enye nokura na se enya sem papa na omino the state apparatus e prosecute and obobo nim bebre a kofo a bi etoto wom kwaku ba ko ne and others Bawumia strangely omuri pili emrani wie no the first time causing fear and panic emra ebe ye part of your lexicon
the
first time
law you're free for
the section 208 of the Act 29 no beka ye mara after the repeal of the criminal libel na ye teaching some trofo no etwa mu no was effected by the NDC administration in 2010. The first time. Na ye atokwa amena dazi. No joy. Almost say NDC buy no. Almost some be STL program bi. Almost see Diama asoja for. Fantastic.
Obo fe say blend din say. Asamwa.
And a joy koye story say omanya petition a grader for the Akoma Parliament say mo approve STL deal no because of Nyomabi.
Is it STS or
STX Korean deal?
Yes.
STX for STL. STL, yeah, no more. STS.
And go full deals.
STL, another one.
Joy publishing petition ni pe at that time. Now the late President Mills and President Mahama na wo ho. And omukofa omukoche no. Na Media Foundation for West Africa publishing tie or say news alerts, news editor charged for publishing false information. Atokwa Amenadazi, news editor of Joy FM, an Accra-based independent radio station, has been charged with a criminal offense for refusing to reveal the station's source of information.
Hey,
yes,
source of information.
Yes,
journalist.
Yes, that was why until I'm charged ato.
Okay, so members will call OSP, no? That was why they charged me.
Yes, for refusing to...
I refused to reveal my secret. And I told them, say... and you see, I saw the cat...
On your car, I said, I don't know, I'm coming, Cassa.
Oh, the catcher... You see, Yoko for Empany for prosecution uniform, the catcher will say, in fact, say, like you say, Jabing.
Yes.
One year lawyer, and 1 year no lawyer OSP noir. And anka state institution be actually me go dance abidi ako say almost me demanded my source of information as a journalist. Eka first 3 lawyers are me frɛ wo no. Lawyer say Jaben no ko beka ho. Lawyer say Jaben Magas.
Yeah.
Any lawyer na opon. First 3 woman ka me frɛ wo. And I can catch say Jaben say the omo esomo chimini who say what are you saying?
Yes.
No my son repeating. Because they must be mad. That is who like say Jaben is. It's by someone to me nka.
They say that. Yes. Okay. Ato omo ko che ni say we refuse say order the source beba the entire grader petition no. One the whole grader audit petition ni bre no. Because he refused to disclose the source inti omo ko che in 2010. At ne court. Eno nancha mo kai Amina ba you turn bus. Amina was a bus.
It's dangerous.
Amina says you turn bus.
Okay, bro, for my life.
On the offer ato adakabre from Poma and a papa interview and all cast there was an armed robbery attack or Bokukwan so. Am I repu obi on board? Almost what cause fear and panic for publishing that false information. And I'm charging the same section 208 of Act 29. Luckily, the lawyer at the time,
Andy,
that be a Kenatifwa.
Okay.
Or no, defending.
So don't know human rights.
Human rights. And called a bogu. Nana kwa.
About all is if you
yes. The same and the NDC.
The 14th February.
No, I'm caught.
If you see,
what have Kofi Adams? Your best friend.
Kofi Adams. What the make out?
You leading that church. Mom, Mokofano.
Kofi Adams, spokesperson to Rollins. And now, Kofi police for some messing young radio station. That young question another one. Hey, my view. Top radio. Top
radio. Oh, and on this one, Mokofano. That was the first time I heard criminalizing speech again. Oh, in politics, ne yaimu. She na AR who said ACC under President. Also, President Mama, a member of GJO. It's ultra way na me hwa na you know kan.
Scandalize no.
And some cost no. It's more than doubled. Yes, to be fair, some media guys were also arrested under MPP. But go and look at the charges and at the time the entire and compare near cost and ne.
Mami read you in Kahwin. Where ye 2nd November 2024.
Yes.
Modern Ghana and the publisher.
Yes.
Title was said the era of true media freedom will return if I am elected, Mahama. Now was say former President John Dramani Mahama has pledged to restore true media freedom in Ghana if elected in the upcoming December 2024 elections. In a speech delivered at a governance forum, he underscored the need for a free press, emphasizing the pivotal role media freedom plays in strengthening democracy and accountability. And now, I was say, reflecting on the current state of press freedom in Ghana, Mahama lamented the increasing challenges faced by journalists and media houses, which he attributed to a restrictive environment under the current administration. A restrictive environment under the current administration, which administration was led by Nana Akufo-Addo. Was journalists will not remain in constant fear over state-sponsored attacks on them. This is John Mahama talking. November. Radio stations critical of the government will not be closed down. Radio stations critical of the government will not be closed down. Journalists will not fear being attacked to the point that some have to seek asylum in other countries, he affirmed. And the
radio station.
Yatum. Oba within 8 months. Me say Kumasi Accra ni Takoradi. In fact, Oba yin second time man Yatum to me radio mu any. Peter to us.
Before that, now you have 2 radio stations earlier. About 7 before mass one nearby actually or say oh their child almost have to mudi na NDC year almost 20 almost the 28 years anniversary. No, President Mahama Kokasa was here. I say no business or radio station will be closed under my next.
And then I'm reading this here.
Yes, but a quotation be from anniversary there. When November, when almost July there.
Okay,
I say a democracy in which Ghanaians feel at peace to go about their daily duties without fear of arrest, harassment, or death. A democracy in which Ghanaians can express themselves freely without fear of having their radio stations closed is what I envisage in my next administration.
And that his administration is now here. And what is happening?
You see, meanwhile, so share near a bit keka and I know the few Nipan watch your muku asemana minister can was like you so boss so kakra and some a month for a car. Hey, forget about the Wawadamfo a majority deputy whip kind. Ubo
do you Gaza
Assembia an NDC communicator also ban Angel FM.
I was the MPP for Kono and the Koto acid. And the Google plane, yes, plane no joint in say Enkoro do not ensign. Yeah, in fact, Abraham Kumsin also say MPP for and the person.
Abraham Kumsin, the all worker say,
I want
the on
one in the back. I was it now, President Mahama and then the part targeting. And nobody has arrested him.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Well, exactly. That's kind. On say some of the issues have to do with the presidential jet we are now discussing. The NPP poured acid on all the pipes, and they are corroding. They set multiple traps for President Mahama on the presidential jet, and then forced him to use it. That is why they oppose him using his brother's jet, unquote. This is also banahene.
But when say President Mahama used the presidential jet on few occasions.
Yeah.
No, sometimes not corrosion.
So by now, Senka police, any omuye sincere. Sani pasi also mufano na all the evidence ever. Because in fact, or the observe President Mahama life is at risk.
na arrest eko police na arrest and national security.
I say police ni national security no SP na arrest. Ai yenu anomo enya police na eko arrest omo issue statement wo ho.
Okay. Just emphasis.
Police and eko arrest
na me bisa for emphasis.
Why say Obama omo kwachi na omo se omra no ome assist omo. Eyo nhwem. And omo bubu ni dan ahoma.
Assist no.
Yes. Na unim assist also omra me assist omo nhwemu no ko bu ni dan na unim me kan wa na bebe me won pass we police statement na paragraph 3 omo say omo bo omo no ko nhwem because picture na o post here no police nhwemu a and na omo mahia so ombenya more information on that till I say these operations, I'm quoting from the police statement, which have been ongoing for several weeks, have led to the significant retrieval of a substantial number of illegal arms and ammunition.
Intinyantro.
Intiadia enyentro.
Ne charge
false publication.
Mama, come on.
Why do you go and arrest such a person? Rambo style. Who we are? What be charging false publication? Meanwhile, in your statement, you are admitting, say, my operations, I can retrieve some of the things I will say, or they be 2 pages.
And Oman can so no.
It's a what's now, share now, won't say, but you ninka so.
Mate.
Jerry Rollins. Would on my 19 good years 11 years there na ka bi mam je say the ope to da no so ya no go no ti apaka kre enya ne fe ko
and say o speech ne kakra bi o kasa say
ma you say ma we do the man go
prof ke we am meeting wa
Boadu.
yes Boadu was then attorney general. So in fact insulting president is not a crime but morally not good. Yes, I remember say lawyer is Ankoma. Dabi we na Freponziga. Was it the reason why a guy called High Priest liking the looks of President Muhammad to Eshimbazi on Fox FM in Kumasi? He was arrested, but Mills also allowed him to go. Same as appears Stadium Lebon and Nekufado as the same criminal, but he was also not charged and allowed to go. And now or told to us it was a sanity. But we beat the Sebana Henedy. Sebana Henny say MPP kono ene ye omakoto acid ene omafa pleno ma biebie ne joints ene omudi agugum say acid no enkorodu ade no Banahene should be arrested.
Yeah, this one there.
Say if someone demand Banahene there and they have no business arresting anybody.
Even on threats no. Oh, I remember say there was a court judge lawyer be explaining say okay, so be threat to so obey obonia. Me lawyer be a minister Betman boy or say nipa na or threatening no or capacity to effect threats na what I say be a mimiti here well I feel like said you also no way let's say me bona do I have the capacity obi kasa obi bia or the capacity
under the NDC me prove it
strange yeah you see
yanko
Boadu.
yes bra
Mamen kasa President Mahama obi a ya kasa leader onye tolerant I'm say the whole West Africa there obetimi about first didn't America the American
sao onye tolerant
ono akasa ne campaign leading to 2020 elections o kasa na obi bo vuvuzela opamon
ai
o si vuvuzela wo de wutia ko opamon
I will say hey untia ko
NDC ni o
NDC ni wo si vuvuzela yedi wo de wutia ko wo de
video no
where be here vuvuzela kwa you know vuvuzela video but obi said them up purpose so hard you
untia ko
ai
ne ba ko vuvuzela untia ko
wo kasa na nipa na wo se kasa ni ko ya wo bo vuvuzela de abo anu no wo pamo no so wo de wuntia ko Boadu na Mamen kasa mo kasa na mo se ye nche Banahene
Banahene de se eche no
nipa esese ye che no a adanse
ɛwɔ ho ɛyɛ minua list o na nana poko
ɛwɔ plane ho ana
ɛnyɛ plane ho wa say police for atai nipa ɛwɔ police headquarters abo mutuo ni video list o video wa hwɛ
o said dem
no atwam no he said it no contest no kan no atwam is no an allegation against a former IGP but no omu ye na me say there has been it's been settled.
Me ba say o say no atwam.
Now what about
afi o say Adam Bona
correct
ya no a small arms acting CEO no executive secretary no ono supply arms to Boko leading to that no Boko youth phobia ba be ka say yakum nipa 300.
Oh that you see no say Adam Bona edna court dada. We move on no trust.
But you know the Bona is what the court.
What the court and I saw the meteor. Hold on. The entire makers dance a woman say ever since Okan Sasem no ampa papa ne be small arms executive secretary no Boku issue no aginsem. Obi am free list to where obi am cafe because oye NDC. Na makers say ade we answer ase no. Oka chairman wa de 2013. Facebook post. Ye chin watermark so e airport. O fi London na oba ene ye mu anot in a Hollywood star
2013 no one president
anya wa unia
okay koso
Prince Pra usumso omochi no bia na 2010
ene ye chi enya no nko a mfichire ha yai Kwame Jebi eti dwawulu drinking bar wabo Kwame Jebi ena o say President Mahama eko Independence Parade na obetwa ahwe ye mu a Kwame Jebi wabo yes wabo what be a baby or sister or call Independent Parade na say obetwa ahwe sana adebecha me akodi Independence Day and yes what told you bia was President Mahama china won dimi nka speech obetwa ahwe sana tete fufu adwuma bi oholomo ehwa ne ye mo awujafo woni ba bia okon what ti na ni what dem no say for me we mu fa me ya drama me ya remande Kwame Jebi on godon enya no nko a chasa ntwi we hwan abrantie bia na adwe mu kan kakra na sa Kwame Jebi na wotimi kai di ni sa godon me kai dey isi the back edi no esi o around Jowlu o say onu so base wo Jowlu enti obe kai
members only
onu so base wo Jowlu
okay maha chasa ntwi onu se hwanya abrantie bia na adwe mu kan kakra eko then President Mahama asori dem a wan koto no se na nko okwa akuku no okwa na president ni ho na ne yiri ni ho second degree felony ye ma abrantie ne so no ye jeli ne 10 years in with the speed of light any jeli ne e ba be da di say san abrantie na adwe mu kan nti ye nja no unim de see after no a letter by James Agaga dated 27th August 2015.
No, deputy minister. No?
Yes. President Mahama requested for a pistol. Say, or no president, no, the life threatened.
His life was in dangerous.
President, or police in order, police in the passing. No, one no send the life threatened. A cocofa at you. Now, go on. What kind of letter, no? I say under Nana Akufo-Addo the presidency ye kum journalist 10th September 2015 between Sankore to Goso
peace FM you know
and ye shutu Abanga George Abanga dodo na friend King George now we hear adwuma wo Success FM e wo Goso na no reporting ma peace FM
no correspondent yeah
NDC for area fertilizer e wo Sankore e no akwakoye report eba nti ofi Sankore e be fa no be ko afa kukuom abesian kogo so
ye kunu ni motorbike yamfa ne phone da ne nchen yamfa 130 Ghana cedis ana ehye ne ho yamfa ye shutu abanga ekunu
eti na president Mahama ye wo
unim nipa obo ama ye chekela no abanga saman yes
prof name say no buy you eti was saman wo
we Ghana Web publication journalist ghost chases killer we Wednesday
journalist ghost chases killer
yes we Wednesday 16 September 2015
metie
me come. A report reaching Daily Guide indicates that a man believed to have killed Gosube Success FM reporter King George, popularly called George Abanga, popularly called King George, has been arrested at Sefi Abrabra. The suspect, whose name was not immediately available, was said to be hunted by the ghost of Abanga.
Mahama grabs pistol. So kind. And Kofaka Benyan the Cray. Mahama grabs pistol. Where Tuesday 21st, 2016. Tuesday, June 2016. Was said President John Dramani Mahama appears to be jittery about his personal safety, in spite of the heavy security detail he has at his disposal 24 hours a day, as he has requested for a pistol to protect himself. The reason for the acquisition is not yet known, but this may lead to the ordinary citizen also applying to own guns, especially when robbery attacks at Otwaswan. Then, Mr. Bahama is said to have imported a pistol and subsequently applied for a license from the Arms and Ammunition Unit of the CID. This is evident in the letter written and signed by Deputy James Agaga.
Yes.
And now, Otwaswan. Now, SM, now, person be who rounds of ammunition is got
200.
No, 200.
Yes.
200 bullets.
Yes.
200 bullets.
Yes.
Eti papa ko ponu kwa ye army.
Eti time na oti ni moto ni so na o she helmet e ko no.
Na pistol ne bone.
Na pistol ne bone ho.
Side arm.
President Van Damme.
Cyborg.
Godon. Sha enti sha na so obi adwen ye ne she enne na President Mahama ebeda sa suban na dia enne na wunim no. On se sign. Said they not here na no sa not. Enti mumu bia na mo akodi nsensem mo nkafra.
Aw.
Ayeden ene edu Friday bia me ma me frɛ me mpeke ko. Aden ya wonim se me ba ha Saturday. Me ba me abechi me.
Yeah.
Yes. Enti to da bia ji se me twa ntro se me ko school so na me ko school me ba ha. Kasa me ba da kasa no. Ene hubua ena abonipa.
Yeah.
Ene wo kokasa ewo radio so a na etufo okwa ye ne bokoboko ye ne bokoboko sen kasa na ye ne e de na ndi sifo anka ene ba bia ya ba bedunu no enti Ghana fo a mokokoto aba nipa mokoko yi no ene de aba no godon me de manu besi wa asi.
All right, Prof K and Motenika no dan ekweku dodo na fer Prof K ewo Central Region
kan sha manage tech ni asem
ti ono prof ndi eye na ahotedin
me ye ho adwuma
wo ye am ya da che be ba so audu ba cho ma koka enka kakra ma me na me hwe ko se na me se ko so school oto attack ba yi Peter yi because what kasa
on kasa
so ma me read this letter now okay me kind na wo se de obeka wo ho ani
da bi said da bia ya me ne ya alliance
okay oh because the way sit me je wo so
ne kra o se na me kasa be because ya hwe me
because of politics
Omo bro.
Unim say election kakra e ko obi catch him on to ma would go adafu binti.
Minti.
Motewa na mo journalist na mo kan sem politics mo say na for
say omo ko election say di go mo pa.
Obi tema ya say o ka obuso asem
obi say awudu
or gentleman or penasem ba Peter
but
so me no need problem. Dem o wonamfo mienu.
Me no
ba ku din. O de ene no so ba ku ne de
no oka bebre
but back on my catcher so on your wedma because I just I'm the wood collection be overlusu.
Hey,
and also go down.
And the place
okay.
So you should friend that person.
No him. Ako Bakubi, I will go down for power. Also, don't even call him. You vote for me. Now to no. Let's do background check. You might be friend. And someone the catch no. How do what you know? Fair delegate. I say why you down for power? No, that's I say go on my tokra because of something also about Tommy. And your partner chawa no ba. Your partner go back also to my employee.
Wa to am
I want to see, but see keep you that I to abano. Who said David Benjamin say? It David Bayan was that what the young tongue can't hear you. Door will beat you. No, I was Charlie say lesson and
he was under pressure on him. Okwano na unia baako on the winning here. Unim say yeah kind about fifre. But the actual fifre to that after letter officer say but you are shaking. Who you are friend but no put sap.
How do you let's briefly on it.
Okay.
Only time Peter can you say David now shaking on say you call for you now buy those who know say we no more there omo ye how do call for omo na beto aba. But why he didn't know, they say, me call for no mobile, no. He was doubting, say, near more, yeah, no motomano, and now motomami. So he was hot because ye call for you now buy it, ebe tuaba. So he says, Omoni now to mamma, the idea, Obelusu. But if what he did, Omotomanoa, Obewini,
yes,
instead of one echo no started frame presido because he call for you now ba. But later, now Peter no who are the end 10. So the end cost no Charlie. Name but prayers there. My man
e carry us home.
Oh. Many are men kasa bebre because many are no more honorable akasa ye. Of course they say ana men na ye. Ono oba alliance oba program no na men kasa bebre. Peter so Mr. Document. O ma ye niama bebre. Many are penny. No say obi a onye intolerant wo we ase pa o fam many a penyi ho a e bia wonya bi na me no ya adwen kakra o kai baloni baloni sledgehammer
yes e bright so no Ken Agyapong no
baloni a minority for that time no mo di na ye kosia owa na say ade ne mfamba parliament ye discuss na ye o say minority for the omo ka no ye baloni Yachi Ken Agyapong and former president Kufuor can say where the anya bia na you can use a sledgehammer to kill a an
ant
and also you may use bulldozer
just I am poetry yes
response no the man and yes sledgehammer no may use bulldozer if it is necessary. Nema bebre to say vuvuzela okay na me kai papa one of the questions no okay under normal order of test no President Akufo-Addo bewu ansa na onu ewu that was a period
yes
all round so e was not the ni na so ye no eyo okay say vuvuzela
na do eco campaign
yes
ema obi to bobabo no
yes
me say that day me sue
hey
was somebody has petted me with stones anyway this is how our democracy has gotten
exactly
me shade ni dina me raho.
This is a level of
who dey okobo vuvuzela keke here pamon
but we see President Akufo-Addo no Nyankopa Ahia no onim say niema omo aye niema atia ni nyina some have seen it real life on say all a year 2016 before 2016 election all northern sector north akwa bi ko ka say okọ Jonsu ebu mox
can so down
yes see penyumfo ka say nya no ko twin sign won ye also on twin sign onim yare aku no
ese Jonsu yare
na aku
na do so ni hu
ne Nyankopon
yes
ene kasama no we are so ho de esi nyina meme ne eyi bebreka I don't have meme ni apenyi mo amonim said the kan yes say when I said Ghanaians said to me bebrebe Ghanaians the majority are Ghanaians the man John Mama na ban they were coming to misbehave. I said it from day one. But misbehavior na e cause wa Ghanaians na omo de buy and be who say ye na e ma to me no enough is enough. That is why